Welcome to Better Not.
On today's episode, we're talking about trees, we're talking about China, and, of course, mental health.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Better Not. I'm Will.
And I'm Zach.
And this is the show where two coworkers bet beers on topics you can easily Google the answer for.
That's very fast today.
I know. I'm just going into it. I'm diving in.
Fired up. Did you have your coffee this morning?
I did. I've only had one cup this morning.
Okay.
But
how big was the cup?
It was a small cup.
Okay.
I usually have 35 ounces or 35 grams of coffee to 500 milliliters.
Wow, you're very specific. Why 35?
That's just the number I've gone with on my ratios.
Okay.
So,
how many grams are in a bag of coffee?
I don't know. It's usually like a pound or a half pound.
Okay.
There's a lot of grams, milliliters, and pounds.
Yeah.
All these. That's not good mixing there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we do what we can. Yeah.
So you weigh it every morning?
Yeah, because I do the pour over method.
Cool.
Yeah. It's a pain in the butt.
I had coffee yesterday for the first time in probably 2 years.
Okay.
And Bryn's like, I was like, I don't know why. I was just like kind of craving coffee when I woke up. Probably because I had to be at work at 4:30 in the morning or 5:30 in the morning. So I got up at 4:30. But Bryn's like, oh, let me make you a coffee. And I've got this delicious creamer and stuff. Oh my gosh, dude. The I don't even know what the brand is. The plastic, they're like in a plastic container, the creamers.
Yeah.
Big container.
Yeah, and they're like a red cap.
Yeah. Awful. Absolutely awful.
Coffee. It's like
Coffee Mate.
Coffee Mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of different flavors.
So she used vanilla and it was just like, ugh. It had the weirdest like fake sugar taste to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Those are really good to me. I like those.
I took one sip and then she drank the rest.
Ah. Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm good for another 2 years, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was like the creamer kind, like the liquid creamer?
Yeah.
It wasn't like the powder or something like that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You didn't like that? I love that. I feel like people who don't drink coffee would like that.
It was just and I love fake sugar. I drink Diet Pepsi a couple a day.
Okay.
But it just had this nasty flavor to it. I don't know.
All right.
Just like super chemically.
Yeah. No, I feel that way with some of the bad creamers. They have a very weird chemical taste.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like artificial sugars too. Like adding the stevia or the whatever kind of packets.
Yeah. I've never had stevia.
Yeah.
I've had those little, I think they're called Vo or something like that. You drop the droplets into water and it turns out whatever
flavored water.
That stuff's pretty good.
It's all right.
I mean, I don't buy it, so it must not be like that good. But I mean, the times I've had it, I'm like, it's decent.
This is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't tried this in a long time. You know what I did try though? I just got Country Time.
Oh yeah.
Lemonade, and I haven't had that since I was a kid. So,
okay.
Yeah, been dying to have that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to get the same thing, but it was like the raspberry tea, and you just like drop it in the water, and it's really good.
Cool.
Like dry mix or whatever.
Yeah. I feel like I've had that one. That one's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so it's always been like Country Time versus what's the other one? Well, they have Country Time. There's Minute Maid.
Minute Maid. That's what.
Minute Maid's good. Anything Minute Maid.
Yeah.
It's so fake, but good.
Yeah.
And then Crystal Light. I hate Crystal Light.
I don't know if I've ever had Crystal Light.
Speaking of artificial, that's like the artificial flavors to me.
Yeah.
It's rough.
That's funny.
And usually when people make it, it's like so watery too.
Yeah.
So I don't like that either. Well, Zach, we have some news. Big news.
Okay. Did you save 5% on your car insurance?
We saved 5% on the car insurance. You know, actually, no, I was about to say we have a patron.
Oh, yeah.
But I just realized I haven't announced that we're also having a baby too on the podcast.
What?
You've known for like a month or two. Yeah. I haven't announced it. So yeah, podcast world, me and Savannah are having a baby.
Okay, and you know the gender?
We know the gender.
Are you going to release that now or wait till the next episode?
I'm going to light California on fire first.
What?
That's the gender reveal party.
Oh. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Before I tell everyone, I'm going to do a firecracker in the color.
You should announce it on next week's episode just to leave some suspense.
No.
Yeah.
We're gonna forget.
No. I'll make
when we record the next one, I'll make note.
I really want to do this.
All right, we're gonna do it. You're gonna be in
I'm like
suspense.
telling you how you have to announce your baby.
That's fine. I've already announced to the world. And if you don't know, then you're not following me on the socials. But we're having a baby. That's gonna be pretty fun.
Yeah.
And Zach thinks this podcast is going to go away when we have a baby.
We'll see.
No, we need to keep it going. If you want to see it, keep on going. Write down in the comments. Join us on Patreon and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how we'll know that we should keep going. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people are listening, though, because of driving and COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's not our fault. It's COVID's fault. So Patreon. We have Alex, our old intern. She finally joined Patreon at the $1 level. So thank you so much, Alex, for joining.
Yeah.
She got both of the last 2 weeks episodes early.
And she texted us and told us that it works.
Yes, it works. And she listened to them. And so that's pretty cool. So that's one of the biggest benefits I can do at the time of this recording is I'm dropping episodes early on Patreon. You can get them. You can talk to us on there. She had like a direct line because she's the only one on there.
Direct line?
Basically, because I've got the app on my phone.
Oh, okay.
And
that's cool.
Yeah, you should get it too. And then like she can like directly message on there and like be like, this is what I want as a patron.
Okay.
And so I gave her what she wanted.
What was that?
Episodes early.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cool. And then she was like, when you make merch, I'm excited about it. And
awesome.
We need to make some merch. We should talk about that.
We've been talking about the coins, dude. We just got to pull the trigger.
Order them. Yeah. We have the design. Huh, okay.
You want to do that right now? I'm just kidding.
I am so busy today. We're recording this podcast in between like a huge edit for me and like a large shoot later today. So
yeah, you're busy.
That's how my mind feels. It's just yeah. I wanted to mention though, you were talking about China. Mm-hmm. I've had some experiences with China recently.
Oh yeah?
And China and Japan. So why is China and Japan shipping like faster or as fast as Amazon? Have you ordered anything from China before?
Funny thing, yes.
Okay.
So I ordered. My grandma bought a new car, not a new car, a used car, not too long ago, and it didn't have a center console. It's very strange, and it's like a utility vehicle. So I looked online, and they had these little center consoles that you could screw down into the car that was made for it.
Oh, that's right.
And so I ordered it, and literally the thing was like wrapped in Chinese newspaper and then covered in duct tape. Okay. And it was so hard to open up.
That's weird.
It's like this thick duct tape. Yeah. And the address is all in Chinese except for my, address. But it came pretty quick.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I don't know how it didn't get damaged because it didn't even have bubble wrap or anything.
Yeah.
And it came all the way, across the world.
They're super good at packing stuff. My stuff was packed really well.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how they're doing it. Part of me thinks like, they're flying it. Obviously they're flying it.
You think so?
Yeah.
I figured it came over on a ship.
There's no way it could have gotten here that fast though.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think they are flying it, which is crazy because aren't Chinese flights blocked right now for COVID? But then the shipping flights aren't blocked. Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they just don't want people coming in
so
from the
people,
country. So if they just
shipping,
if they just stay on the plane and then fill up the plane and leave,
Yeah. Well, I wonder if the airplanes, they're still going, but because there's less like passenger flights that they're loading up like passenger flights with a bunch of goods, and that's why it's going fast.
I don't know.
But what's crazy though? Okay, so I bought a few things. Like apparently the used camera market is like really big in China and Japan.
Oh, really?
More so in Japan.
Okay.
And then every time I like look for stuff, it's always over there, and I have to trust that whatever eBay seller is going to do a good job and get it to me, and it usually works. Mm-hmm. So I ordered several things. So 3 different things. Actually, I got one thing was from Korea too.
Okay.
And they all came within 3 days.
Wow. That's impressive.
3 or 4 days. So I guess something came this morning, which that would have been 4 days. Insane. I don't understand. And I watched the tracking. What was crazy was something landed in Ohio, went to Georgia, yes, I think it went to Georgia and then over here. And then something landed in Alaska and then down to somewhere over here and then to us.
Okay.
Like, it went to that many places and got to me in a few days.
Yeah.
Like, what is with that shipping? That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I ordered something on Prime the other day.
Yeah.
On Saturday morning, and I didn't get it till Thursday. So they've definitely, I don't know.
Yeah, Prime's slower.
Yeah,
but,
they've slowed it down, definitely.
Definitely some of the products on Prime are a lot slower right now. But, you know, I feel like I don't understand how they keep it up that fast anyway. So
yeah,
that's a mystery.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All I know is that my 3 days of working at UPS, you move a lot of packages.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't understand how they do it.
They've got these crazy like sorting belts, and it like goes, it's like I don't even know. Like, it's just a maze. Like, these belts go every different direction of, you know, what state it's going to, and town. And
that's crazy. Aren't they doing robots in the Amazon stores now?
I have no idea.
I think they do. Like,
do they have Amazon stores?
Or in the warehouses?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think they have like robots that like guide it with like little things on the ground.
That's cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're going to replace all of us one day.
Yeah.
But I say that, and then like Amazon, I saw is like hiring like 130,000 people or something.
Yeah.
So there's still people jobs out there.
I just don't think robots will ever get to the point where they can like be better than, well, in some situations can be better than
in like medial tasks where it's like packing something.
Yeah. But something that's like customized, like you can't have a robot do that, you know, like, something that's standardized, like same, like making a frozen pizza, like it's just the same every single time, you know, that you could have a robot do that. But yeah.
I think robots keep some of the workers away from mental illness.
What?
Yeah, they get like...
That's a horrible transition.
They get depressed for working.
The robots?
No, the people.
Oh.
They get they do a job that's like repetitive, and then they go crazy.
Okay.
And now we're talking about mental illness.
All right.
Sorry, that was a lot of housekeeping, but we're back.
Yeah.
We're here. We're here doing it.
Cool.
We're talking about mental illness today. What was our bet last week?
Our bet was that you think over 50% of the population has a mental illness.
Yeah. So like, I feel like there's so many diagnosed mental illnesses now that everybody's got something going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, we all got something wrong in our heads. We're all a little weird.
I tell my wife all the time, I feel like I'm the only normal one in this world.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I feel like that falls in the same line as like millennials think that they're all going to be millionaires.
So you're telling me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the only sane one in this world. I'm going to be a millionaire one day. Like 100%. Yeah. I was just talking to someone about that where like it's like a large percentage of millennials think that they're going to be like rich.
Really?
Rich. Not like have wealth when they're retired. You know what I mean?
Huh. Why do you think that is?
It's a millennial mindset. I think there's some millennial things that I'm like, no, you can't like put all millennials into a box. But then there's stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah,
that definitely fits in the box.
Yeah. I feel like you could say that about everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there are some things like, I think the work ethic thing is always a dumb thing that people brought up. Like, you know what I mean? Like millennials don't work hard or whatever. Yeah. And I think there's been times where I've had to rely on maybe like extending my insurance through my parents or whatever, but that was given to us, you know, it was an option that we could have taken.
Yeah.
And I only did that until I found a job.
Right.
But I feel like a lot of millennials are like working hard, you know?
Yeah. I feel like it's almost like you are a millennial if you aren't working hard, and and then the people that are working hard, they're not in that classification of a millennial.
Yeah, they don't call them millennials.
Right.
Like, that's so dumb. When like today, millennials are what, 25 to 35?
I think so. Yeah.
And those are like the hard workers. Like, that's like middle class hard working people. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anybody that I know that would actually fall under a millennial, of what I consider a millennial.
I don't know. I don't know many.
Yeah.
I don't know any, really.
Yeah.
I would say all my friends are hustling, trying to get their life together.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know anybody that's just, I know, I'm not even going to say it.
Call them out. This is the time. Mental illness. We're talking about it. Zach and I both work in the mental health field, and I think it's interesting. So I'm curious about it.
Yeah.
So let's bid a beer on. I was saying that I think more than 50% of the population has mental illness.
I'm saying less, but if I really had to pick a number, I think it's around 28 to 33%.
Oh wow, very specific.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and this is going to include like ADHD and a lot of these things.
Yeah.
So let's look it up. Let's fire up the generator, see if we can find something easily Googleable. Ooh. Oh no! I thought I was going to win this one. What'd you find?
In the United States, almost half of the adults, 46.4%, will experience mental illness during their lifetime. 5% of adults 18 or older experience mental illness in any 1 year, equivalent to 43.8 million people.
I really thought I was going to win this one.
You're close though. I didn't think it would be that close.
Wait, so I won?
No, you didn't win. Absolutely not. But I'm not gonna give it to you, but I am gonna say that with the stigma of mental illness, it probably is over 50%, because there's probably a majority of people, not a majority, but a large amount of people that go undiagnosed.
Mm-hmm. I would for sure say that, yeah.
So I still win. But
you do win from the easily Googleable fact. But yes. Yeah, I definitely think that. And yeah, I mean, even a lot of our population don't think that they have mental illness.
Right, yeah. So you have the insight factor, where people just don't have insight into themselves. And then you also have the stigma. And we see this at work all the time, where patients just lose absolute contact with their family because they just, they don't want to be associated with somebody that's like that.
Yeah.
In quotations, for the listeners.
Well, and some people, like, their depression has gone so far, that's undiagnosed.
Right.
Maybe they have something light, a slight bipolar kind of vibe or something like that.
Yeah. As I was driving over here, I was kind of thinking about, I wonder what the percentage of people, or what percentage of people are depressed right now with all this smoke.
Yeah.
Because it's really just gloomy, and it's been going on. I mean, we had a little bit of clarity for a week, 2 weeks, somewhere around there. But it's just dragging on. It's pretty...
Well, but more so too, like COVID with that.
Right, yeah.
So there's probably a lot going on with people's mental health.
Let me pick your brain on this. This is...
do you want to crack a beer, or do you want to pick
my brain? Yeah.
Let's go to Beer Corner.
Okay.
Wait. Write down what you're going to say.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Before you pick my brain, let's go to Beer Corner. Let me grab a beer. I got a good one for you.
Okay.
It's yummy. And yeah, it's great.
Oh, you got an IPA for us.
I do. It's a hazy.
Okay.
I feel like if I'm going to buy an IPA, these glasses these are water stains. They're clean. Yes. So I have the Slow Brew, Sloha IPA. That's funny.
That's pretty awesome.
Tropical hazy. I need to start posting the freaking pictures of these beers on the podcast Instagram. All right, yeah. So, this is yours.
Thank you.
Here you go.
Do you want to read me about it?
Yeah, let me tell you about the beer I got for you.
I feel like I always read it.
Slow Brew. It's in town. We've had their Cali Squeeze on the show before. Have we had any of the other ones?
I feel like we have, but I can't think of what they are right now.
It's a really good beer. I had this one the other day with some friends, and I was really liking it.
Nice.
So embrace the spirit of Aloha and get swept away to an island paradise as waves of juicy hops bring light notes of citrus and tropical fruit. This crushable, unfiltered IPA is a great way to unwind and take it slow, SLO. Slow Brew has been handcrafting award-winning craft beer on the central coast of California since 1988. Cool. You know, this should be the beer that we send people for our collaborations.
I agree. I think that something from Slow Brew would be very appropriate.
Yeah, Slow Brew or Firestone. But I feel like Firestone is pretty everywhere in California.
Yeah, you can find it everywhere. I feel like Slow Brew you can find anywhere over here, but not like definitely not outside of California. Thank you, sir.
So,
I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I really like the label on there.
Oh, super love the label. Yeah, for our listeners, whichever one you want. Cool. For our listeners and not on YouTube peoples, is it weird looking at yourself now?
It will be now that you mentioned it. Cool.
Yeah, for our podcast listeners and not our YouTube listeners, you should definitely watch us on YouTube for sure. It's a sort of like tealish label. It has like all the Hawaiian flowers on it. It looks really cool. It's kind of written in like SpongeBob lettering.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
I see down at the bottom, it says the alcohol and the IBUs.
Oh, yes. Always forget that. 6.5 alcohol.
Okay.
And
I think your finger's on.
Oh, yes. IBUs 25.
Okay.
What was like super high? Is like 60 the top? I don't
know.
We need to know. Why don't we have these things memorized? We're like beer tasters.
I know.
All right. Cheers.
Prost.
Oh, it's good. It's fruity.
I like that a lot.
I know.
It doesn't taste like an IPA.
Yeah. Yeah. It tastes fruity. It's kind of like it's not even a sour.
Pineapple? Is it pineapple flavor? Pineapple?
Yeah. It's just juicy. Juicy is like.
It's good.
It's really good. Yeah. It's juicy.
I might buy that.
It's not heavy. It doesn't really feel like you're drinking 6.5.
Yeah.
Really good though.
That's very good.
Super good.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. You know, slow brew beers are like, they're good, you know. They're not like the best beer you've ever had in your life, but it's pretty good.
They have a red that I used to get when I'd go there sometimes, and I haven't had it in a while, but I remember it being really good.
I mean, but I like this. This is probably one of my favorites from them now.
So this says it's tropical fruit, citrus zest, and crushable. I think you already read that, but I'm just looking at the can again.
Yeah. So yeah, it's probably done with tropical fruit of some sort.
Yeah.
Of some sort.
Well, thank you, Wilbert.
You know what, Zach Burt? You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So that's our beer for the day.
Okay, let's dive into this this question that I was going to ask you.
What was your question?
Well, we were talking about people being depressed and the smoke and stuff like that. What is your opinion on the trees? Do you think that we need to have more cutting to eliminate this? Like, what's the solution? Because this is just ridiculous. I mean, the last
the
last 3 years, we've had so many fires, and it's just like all summer long, just smoke.
Gosh, the trees, man.
Let me tell you my stance on it, and then because you look like you're thinking about it.
Okay.
It's all turning into firewood, right? Like it's just getting burned up. We might as well be using it.
Sure.
That's it. That's my stance.
Well, I don't think. I mean, I know like logging and stuff. I mean, we have forests now that they log and whatever.
Right.
Like they like have made this forest to log.
Right.
I mean, there's just so much nature here. But the trees are burning, yeah, but it's the grass. So we have the rains that come in the winter and in early spring.
Right.
And that is like the only time it's around. That's the only time it's raining in California. And then everything like freaks out and it grows really quickly. And you know, you've got green everywhere. Like everything's green. The grass just, Yeah, yeah. And then the all that the mustard plants that have like infiltrated California, those grow up. So everything just explodes and grows. And then hot summer comes in, no rain, everything dies.
Right.
So by the time right now, August, September, everything's dead and it's everywhere. Everything's dead everywhere and crazy heat. So the heat waves that we've had, the first heat wave that we had a tropical, or not a tropical storm, but a storm.
Right.
And lightning doesn't happen much in California. And when it does, it causes fires because everything's dry and dead. And it didn't even really rain. It rained a hair, but like it was just lightning and then tons of lightning. It said there was like thousands of strikes. And then the past ones, like even more just started, even when there was other ones had already gone, started, and they still are going. But more started on this past week's heat wave because it hit like 110 where we are right now. So like crazy heat, like anything could light this on fire.
Right. So what keeps it going? Is it the trees or is it the grass?
I think it's both, but it's the wind is another combination. So that's your California rain season, but then the winds are kind of crazy in California, especially on the coastal regions. And so what I've heard is that there's these wind tunnels almost, not tunnels, but like wind kind of areas where wind is more pushing towards.
Right.
And
like they have the Santa Anas.
Yeah. Yeah. But one of the issues is that California is spreading out. More people are living here and we're building more in the outskirts. So what's happening is these fire lanes of wind tunnels is where we're starting to build when we really shouldn't be living there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
So really San Luis Obispo is set up for that wind to push it from Morro Bay straight into town. So if anything lit on fire between Slow and Morro Bay, there's a wind tunnel pushing it straight towards us.
Interesting.
But I think the winds are a big problem. They always talk about that when they're talking about the fires. Just the crazy rain. And then, another problem is since we have fires, and this is a weird cycle, but since we have the fires, the best soil is burnt char.
Yeah.
So every year when we have a fire, it makes the soil better for things to grow better.
Right.
Things grow more. And it's an insane cycle.
Yeah.
So things are growing more the next year and then they die and then it burns more.
Yeah.
It's hard to say like what the solution is. Like I feel like smart
I'd really
people
like
have already
to
done it.
Get a firefighter's opinion on it. What the solution would be. If there is a solution. There might not even be a solution. I don't know.
Well, I've heard that they're trying to make like fire lanes. I know I just used that term in the term of like burning. That they would mow down lines of trees.
Okay.
To try to like have stop points.
Right. Yeah.
Every so often. And then create sort of a barrier that hopefully it doesn't jump over.
Yeah.
So that if it does light, at least it'll stop there.
That makes
but
sense.
They're starting to do that. From what I've heard, like that's an idea, and they should just put those everywhere.
Yeah.
But California's huge. It's hard to say like where you should put those.
Yeah.
And ultimately it will like wipe out a bunch of trees. But like you said, like we should log it and we should. I don't think we should get rid of all trees.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, but
I just think the solution's hard, like because global heating and warming is happening. Our summers are getting hotter. Whether it's humans or not, like it's kind of not stopping. So we have to think of other ways to like solve that issue. And we're going to solve it on the Better Not podcast. Thanks for listening. No, it's hard because like, we're just little humans. And there's like government officials and stuff that are running everything.
Yeah.
And you hope that they do a good job. I think some of the big culprits though are like the power company, like PG&E.
Oh yeah.
They're the worst.
They straight up admitted to
causing
all those fires.
They caused one of the worst fires last year.
Yeah.
And this year you can't really point fingers at people. You can point people at the arsons. Yeah. Well, this year was a lot of lightning though. But then also you can point fingers.
That one guy in Fresno, they arrested him. He started that fire. I don't know which one it was, but I think it killed a couple people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's getting murder and arson.
Well, and these the gender reveal is going to get some bad stuff too. Oh, well, so like last year it was easy to point fingers at PG&E.
Right.
Because they did cause it.
Yeah.
But now, what's interesting too is like, you're like, why, like all these fires and stuff, like what do we do? What do we do about freaking PG&E, like this conglomerate, massive company? They went bankrupt last year.
Yeah.
But like, you can't shut the power company down because that's the power company. Right. There's only one.
Well, there's two.
There's only one in certain places.
Yeah. I mean, PG&E, they're the main one, but you have the energy company also.
Okay.
And then there's another one they just changed the name of it. I can't remember. It's from like Santa Barbara. They're doing energy too.
Okay.
But I mean, PG&E, they're responsible for giving everybody power basically.
Yeah. One of the big issues is like, they can just shut it off.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so all these shutoffs.
That's what they were doing, but then people start complaining about them not having power. So it's like, people are going to complain if there's fires. People are going to complain if they don't have power. Yeah.
But what does the shutoff do?
The shutoff, they were shutting it off during the winds because the winds were causing these power lines to hit each other, and then they were starting.
But that's like, that is their job, to make the power lines better, to make the, like.
Well, really what they need to do is do the underground power lines, and boom, there you
underground power lines. In Georgia, they switched to like giant metal, like instead of these stupid wood ones, there's metal ones everywhere, like metal power line, like
poles,
cement poles that are like super strong, and we don't even have that strong a wind over there.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just like what's going on? Like why can't? I mean, they went bankrupt, so now they don't even have money to upgrade their stuff.
Oh, they have money. That's like saying California doesn't have money.
Well, yeah. I just think it's so ridiculous. Like something's just so weird about California. We're not even talking about mental illness. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of mental illness in California.
That's for sure.
What's crazy is I feel like everything in California was built in the 50s. Everything. You look at every house in this town, Tascadero, all these other towns, was built in like 50s, 60s, and then nothing was built, and then there's some new builds now.
I feel like, okay, keep going, sorry.
Well, I don't know. Everything's so old. Yeah, why is everything so old? Like, Georgia, everything's updated. Everything, like, there's new builds. The old builds have been updated. Like, what's going on out here?
Maybe people just don't, because the market's so expensive, maybe they don't have the money to fix up these old places.
Well, because they don't have the money to fix them up, they can't do the work that needs to be done on their house to bring it up to code so that it doesn't catch fire from electricity and problems like that. I'm serious.
How many houses are catching on fire?
Probably, I don't know. Like, we don't know the cause of every one of these fires, but I feel like a lot of things is like, because things are so old, things are so expensive, nobody can afford to repair their car, repair the house. We can't take care of the things that they want us to take care of because things are so expensive.
I don't know where you're going with this
one. I'm
kind of lost on this one.
Well, where I'm going with it is, just like everything's so old, like nobody's updating anything because they can't, or they can't afford it. It's a weird dichotomy. Cacophony?
I feel like every episode you use like one new word, and I think you just have. Like,
I don't think dichotomy.
I think you have a
word.
book that you just like learn one new word a day. Do you have it?
No. Oh. I keep a thesaurus pretty close by.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but yes, mental illness. I feel like every Californian has mental illness. No, I'm just kidding. But we listened to the murder podcast, the F word murder mystery podcast, or what? That's what they joke and call it. But My Favorite Murder.
Okay.
Shout out to Mcilvenna. She listens to that too. On that podcast, basically when they talk about a murder, they talk about murder mystery stories. They basically, it's like always in California. It's like some serial killer that traveled around California.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. People getting abducted in vans and down in LA.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they just arrested the California killer or whatever his name is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you haven't heard about that?
No.
And he's being charged with like, I don't even know, like 30 counts of murder or something ridiculous.
That's so crazy.
And those are the ones that they know about.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how many that he hasn't even said, you know? But yeah, I mean, there's murders happening all over, all the time. You look at they got people's faces at Walmart when you're walking out. Like, have you seen this person? Have you seen this person? You got to assume all these people were murdered. Yeah. You know, on top of, no, seriously.
You got to assume all these people were murdered, right?
I mean, all these people go missing all the time. They're on freaking milk cartons. Like, it's happening all the time. And there's just people out there doing it. I guarantee you, like, there's so many woods and everything. You could go out there and just bury somebody and, you know, nobody would ever find him.
And then when you think about like how stretched the police are, like they don't have time to be searching for all that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, police don't go out into the woods trying to find a.
I always thought that was so interesting. They're only going to go look for something if someone told them it's there or they have a reason to go there.
Yeah. Unless a random hunter walks across something and goes, oh, it looks like this got dug up. I should call the sheriff.
Yeah.
Which will not happen, I guarantee you.
And ultimately, in the woods, everything is piling up.
Yeah.
So, like, the leaf layer is making taller and taller ground. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why the dinosaurs are underground. Because they died and stuff fell on top of them.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So like,
somebody didn't bury them down there.
Yeah, someone came along. And
just kidding. But that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that, like the earth is just adding more earth going up.
Yeah.
So yeah, are we telling people that that's what they should do? They should put them in the woods and let it just get buried?
I mean, that's what I would do.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I think I don't know. California's pretty crazy with the mental illness and the murders.
Somebody was telling me before that the mental illness like almost doubled when meth came out.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah. So I'd like to look that up, see what the statistics are on that. Like what percentage of people that use meth become mentally ill or something like that.
That's probably pretty high.
Think so? You think it's over 50%?
Was there like an inventor of meth?
Yeah, I'm sure somebody probably had a medical use for it.
Oh man, we need to watch this show. It's called The History of Meth. It's on the History Channel. 40%, more than 40% of meth users have a mental illness.
Oh. Which is about the same as the population in the United States.
Ooh, meth. I found an article that says who reinvented meth.
Reinvented?
Yeah. It was November 1992, the man...
Methamphetamine was discovered in 1893.
1893?
Yeah. It doesn't say who invented it.
The father of meth.
Can we assume that his last name was probably methadone?
That'd be cool. This article's too long. You know when there's an article that's like, that seems like an interesting article to read, and then it's like so long, you're like, I don't think I want to read this. Oh my gosh, I'm just scrolling this.
Yeah, I'm not really finding anything.
Well, meth is bad. Don't do meth. Out of all the drugs that people come in abusing in our facility, meth is the bad one.
Yeah.
So if you learned anything from today's show, meth is bad.
Yes.
Don't do meth.
I think that's pretty standard. Most people know that.
Well, apparently people do it. Do we have anything else to say about mental illness? I feel like we should have been like super experts on this, but I feel like we talked about fires.
I mean,
the fires are pretty important.
Yeah.
So Zach and I, we do creative arts therapies. Do you consider yours a creative arts therapy?
Yeah.
I was like umbrella under creative arts therapies.
Recreation therapy kind of just falls under like a broad, like it can cover music, it can cover art, it can cover games.
Yeah. So I would say creative arts therapies, recreation, music. There's also like, art therapy, dance therapy.
Right. Chemotherapy. No, I'm just kidding.
I definitely put us in the same vein as chemotherapy.
Yeah. I mean, occupation therapy.
Oh yeah. Occupational therapy is like in there too.
Speech therapy. I guess
they're under our union, but they're not.
Yeah.
I don't think they're
not exactly the same classification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the creative arts therapies, that's what we do. Mental health facility here in California. And, I mean, we experience a lot of this, it is an illness. I think, as the stigma, there's such a stigma in the community where, definitely if you feel like you are experiencing any symptoms like, hearing voices or, feeling depressed, definitely, I mean, the stigma,
just those two things. That's it.
Well, there's a lot of things you could be feeling, but, I mean, don't let the stigma put you into a box. Like you should go get, you should go see someone about it and get treatment, because, there's good drugs out there to manage your mental health symptoms. And
I do think though, the stigma, I mean, there is a huge stigma behind it, but I feel like it's starting to turn kind of the other direction, hopefully. You hear about it on the news all the time now.
Yeah.
It's definitely more common and talked about.
Yeah.
So.
Well, with a lot of the shootings and stuff, like trying to prevent those and making sure that people get the help that they need.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's no way you can be in your right mind and commit those like heinous acts. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I don't know if anyone's listening and they feel like they have that out of the 40 listeners that we have. Yeah, go get checked out for sure. Yeah. Even if you're not feeling well, I mean, like it's good to see a therapist,
Yeah, just never hurts to talk to somebody.
Yeah, if you feel like you need to talk through something, if like, you're just considering any negative thoughts and even suicidal thoughts, get checked out.
Definitely.
For sure. If anything.
We don't want to lose a listener.
Oh my gosh. Anyways. Well, yeah. That was the mental health episode. Yeah. Cool. Mental health fire episode. What are we talking about next week, Zach?
Next week, we are talking about flamingos.
Oh, are we?
Yes.
You really want to talk about this?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. What are you curious about flamingos, Zach?
I'm curious. Well, we talked about what makes them pink, and you said that it's what they eat.
I'm pretty confident about this.
But that's not the bet.
Okay.
Because you were so confident in it, I'm just going to trust you on that. Our bet is if they stop eating what makes them pink, do they stop being pink?
I think that's such a good way to turn it around. So, yeah, it's whatever they're eating is making them pink. I feel like I've been to many zoos. I've been to many places. I'm pretty...
That was almost as good as Ryan's impression.
Oh, yeah. Ryan has a good impression.
He does.
So our friend Ryan, good friend of the show, he's been on a few times. He's starting his own podcast pretty soon.
Yeah.
And we're encouraging him. We're going to promote that podcast when it comes out. Oh, okay. So back to the bet. I think that if they stop eating what they are eating, the flamingos, not Ryan, that, yes, they will stay the same color.
Okay.
You think that they're going to change?
Yeah. Yeah. If that's it, if it's the food that makes them pink and you switch the food, it has to make the pink go away.
Well, it's kind of like us, like what, 7 years, like all of our cells regenerate. Isn't that what happens?
7 years?
Yes. Every 7 years, our cells regenerate.
I don't know. We'll have to look that up.
I'm 7 years regeneration. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure all of our cells regenerate after 7 years, except for our brain cells.
That's sad.
So that's going to be next week's bet. If you love this show and you love what you're listening to, go head over to Patreon, support us there. You can go as little as $1, as much as $5, which still isn't that much. Go support us. It means a lot. And you can have a say in what we're doing on this show because obviously we don't know what we're doing. Just kidding. We do.
After 40 something episodes, I think we kind of got it figured out.
Yeah, this is going to be like 43 or something like that. Yeah. There's a few things coming down the pipeline I wanted to talk about. Well, I guess if anyone's still listening at the end of the episode. But
you already did your plug, so everybody turned it off.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll do that at the beginning of the next episode too.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to be doing some collaborations with a couple other podcasts soon. I'm working on those. When we're going to do them, how we're going to do them. But you might hear some different, unique episodes coming on up. We're going to try some more brewery episodes coming up.
Heck yeah.
Yep. That worked out really well. We loved being at Tent City. Those episodes were awesome. Mm-hmm. They got a lot of people really liked them.
Cool.
And so that's going to be happening.
All right.
So go like us on Instagram. Go hit us up on Facebook. I'm like barely on Facebook, but go hit us up on Instagram. I'm a big Instagram kind of guy.
And speaking of, real quick, the Tent City episode, I had somebody tell me the other day that they absolutely loved it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of flat earthers really liked our flat earth
episode.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, we're really stretching out right now.
Yeah, it was weird.
So maybe when we have the guest episodes, we need to pick topics like that can...
It's really bizarre topics.
We'll get influence from the followers of those people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Just something to think about.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for watching.
Yep.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace. The Better Not Podcast is Will Cobb and Zach Freeman, produced by Cobblestone Productions. All the music you hear in the show is written by Will Cobb and mixed by Chad Mcilvenna. Thank you so much to Savannah, my wife, for singing on all the tracks that you hear. We post our episodes now on YouTube. Go head over there and subscribe to us and like our video. And don't forget to sign up for patreon.com/betternot and support us for $5 a month. It goes a long way for helping us out. Thank you so much for listening, and see you on the next one.
So you know how, and this is completely off topic, but you know how Fatty's Pizza, that guy got arrested and then they shut down Fatty's Pizza in Atascadero? Mm-hmm. So the Fatties that he robbed in Paso Robles, they ended up ironically buying the Fatties in Atascadero and they just reopened. Yeah. And so we got it last night and I'm super bummed because they they don't dice their tomatoes anymore. And we love the white sauce with tomatoes, and they just put like slices of tomatoes.
Oh, like a full slice?
Yeah, and used to get so many tomatoes on their pizza, and now it's just like a couple of slices here and there.
That's pretty lame.
Yeah,
I don't like that. They do that on margarita pizzas too. I don't like
full
that.
Slices.
Yeah.
Dice is definitely where it's at.
I don't really want like a full slice of something on my pizza that it like just pulls the entire like cheese off or whatever.
Yeah.
That happens. You know the giant pepperonis or salamis or whatever they put on?
Yeah, like Canadian bacon. They're pretty big.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anything that like makes everything slide off, not cool.
Yeah.
Dice it up, make it small.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I agree.
This is great pizza.